Welcome to the Reddit library. Today we'll be looking at r/AskReddit, where the user ZachP787 asked the question, what's the worst legal thing you can do? Before we begin, I just want to make a little disclaimer. Some of these are pretty bad. Groom your stepdaughter for over a decade, then when she's 18, divorce her mom and hook up with your stepdaughter. My grandfather, who I disowned by the way, tried to do this. Went to help his wife's daughter get out of an abusive marriage and ended up locking her up in a house that she couldn't get out of and saying that God told him she was his future wife. Thankfully, the daughter is a normal human who found this disgusting and managed to escape. But when she went to the police about it, they said she should be thankful that someone helped her leave her abusive husband. Edit. He didn't groom her for the role, but he sure did try. What freaks me out is, he adopted me from my crazy parents and was trying to groom me to never marry anyone and never have friends or any kind of social life. I was only ever allowed to call him dad, nothing else. He pinched my butt until I was 14 and snapped and screamed at him in public for doing it, and he spanked me until I was 18. Permanently destroying huge swaths of land. There's a development corporation in my hometown that has bought up virtually all the remaining woods, meadows, and wetlands in the area, paved them, and built retail spaces that go vacant just a few months later. Businesses aren't even moving into these office parks, but the group just keeps spreading out and developing. It seems like every month I drive past another level tract of land. How is that even economically viable? Often, large corporations get grants and tax exemptions for developing unused land into usable land, even if that land does not eventually get used. It allows towns to expand and have more potential for property taxes. They sometimes can use the capital losses from the unused land as write-offs to offset tax debt in other areas that are more prosperous. If the land eventually sells, they recoup the money that they already claimed as a loss, but it is not taxable since it is long-term real estate profit. Towns get federal money to help maintain infrastructure that is based on the square mileage of a town. It is the town's advantage to incrementally increase the size of a town every year so the federal infrastructure money gets incrementally higher in value. You can leak the names, addresses, email addresses, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, and payment card details of nearly half of all Americans and more than half of all American adults, and then settle for about $5 a person. Hold Equifax accountable, yo. Don't forget 3 of their top-level executives sold a significant share of their stock holdings just before the breach was announced to the public. I think it's pretty cruddy to claim bodily harm from a very minor car accident just to get $10,000 and make the other person pay more for their car insurance. I'm looking at you, lady I hit going 3 miles an hour. Probably not the worst thing, but it's pretty bad. Marrying someone you don't love? Imagine finding the love of your life, getting married, and maybe even having kids, and then they tell you they never loved you and you built your whole life around them for nothing. This happened with a Russian spy in the Cold War days. Married an American woman as a cover. When he got caught, she found out her marriage was a complete lie. You should look up Shi Pai Pu. He was a Chinese spy, male, who married a French diplomat, also male, posing as a woman. They lived together and even had a son. That must have been an interesting pregnancy. Take custody of a pet in a divorce and then put the pet down out of spite. God, I hope you don't write from your experience. Ask people for credit card details in the street for donations to charity. There's a few different laws in many places you'd hit. Many cities have solicitation ordinances, so you need to be licensed first. Then, you can't claim to be a charity in many jurisdictions without appropriate paperwork, and there are further rules on maintaining that, including how you spend the money. If you meant people who are actually licensed and working for a legitimate charity doing this, then yeah, legal and awful. Fatally hit someone with your car as long as you have diplomatic immunity. Here's the link. Diplomat's wife who fatally hit British teen and claimed immunity, which is totally messed up. A parent keeping their kid from the other parent when there's no good reason to, and leveraging the courts to do it. Yups, my stepson is now 18 and living with us for the last 3 months. His mother screwed him up so badly, she would scream at anyone who would even partly listen that my husband was abusive while offering zero proof. We are trying to slowly build a future for him. Luckily, it's bitten her hard. He wants nothing to do with her at all. Meanwhile, we are pushing him hard to get his own place, GED, and enrolling in college classes. It will take a long time, but at least it's getting better and he can see what a screw-up his mom really is. Thank you for doing this. I work in family law and I see this way too much, and I try my best to reassure my clients that their kids will come around, but my word means not much when they're missing someone so much. I'm glad it worked for you. Schedule people to work 39.5 hours a week. My girlfriend is constantly scheduled 15 minutes shy of the amount of time at which they'd be required by law to give her a break. It's gross. You can spray tan a baby. Totally legal. Any baby? Edit. Whoa, my first golds and silvers. Thanks, whoever's. The gang finds a dumpster baby. Giving out someone's number or email for spam. That's actually illegal in the European Union. Edit. People complaining about Europe not being a uniform country. There, fixed it. Happy? Oh, I constantly put the spam numbers into the home refinancing websites. Crud. A lot of spam callers use number spoofing, and the numbers they use for spoofing often are numbers real people have. So you might be giving a real person spam, just pointing this out. This is true. I've had people call me back saying they got a call from my number. Several spam calls are now the same area code and 3-digit prefix, so it's easy to think it's a local call. I got a spam call from my own number. Murdering or having your way with someone, but it's legal because you have diplomatic immunity. What's this bone saw in your luggage? Oh, it's okay. I'm a diplomat. Sir, this aisle is for 10 items or less. It's okay. I'm a diplomat. Diplomatic luggage doesn't go through screening. I used to work for TSA. You don't touch that crud with a 10-foot pole. Hike the prices up on insulin out of a member's affordable range. Alternatively, just decide to take it off of your formulary list with no clear reason. The people in charge of these decisions should be charged with murder. Hundreds of diabetics have died as a direct result of no longer being able to afford insulin. I worked at a call center. I just put in my 2 weeks because I had so many calls about insulin being denied. All of these members were on time with their insurance. Still couldn't get nor afford it. One of them nearly died from taking Novolog, the only one on the formulary they would allow. He can't take it. It was killing him, and they refused the prior authorizations and appeals to get him the Humalog, or the Emalog, one of these two. He was still so calm, like he accepted his situation. I would have understood if he yelled and took it out on me this one time. I couldn't do anything, and he just calmly hung up. Screw all of this. I'm too soft to work in the health business. It's not being calm, exactly. It's despair. A lot of people confuse the two, but despair is what happens when you know you're going to die and there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it, and there's no point in trying to push harder to get people to help you. It's when you stop trying to swim and let yourself drown. It's not peaceful. It's intensely painful, but it's quiet. So people confuse the two. Recruit people to join Scientology or an MLM. Those poor people just don't get it, even as they lose money. Actually, I'm in multi-level marketing. I make a lot of money. I can show you how you can too, if you join my 69-step program. That sounds awesome, but are you open to my direct sales opportunity with 3.1415926535, etc. steps? That sounds irrational. Get it? Because it's pi, and pi is irrational. I like that one. Is it illegal to leave your shopping cart in the parking lot instead of returning it to the corral? If not, that. The obvious solution is what stores do in Europe, which is having the cards locked up and require you to insert €1 or another small coin into them so that they become usable. To get that coin back, you have to relock your card in the corral. This is also what Aldi is said to be doing in the US. And it works. Quite well at that. Want to be a jerk and don't care about your coin? Go ahead, leave your cart. But the more important aspect here is that others have an incentive to take it back for you and get some free money. It's surprising how little money is required for people to stop being jerks. Sue your poor ex-spouse for child custody so repeatedly that you drain their finances and can't fight it anymore. This could describe patent stealing, too. Small guy invents something, big guy steals invention, sues inventor into being broke so small guy can't fight Goliath anymore. There's a documentary called The Patent Scam. It's so awful how much of a racket the patent industry is now. Taking out a vague patent for something, then suing someone you claim is violating your patent for $3,000, and if they try to fight back, it will cost $10,000. Then hit the victim with a non-disclosure agreement so they can't tell anyone how they were financially taken advantage of. Just killing American entrepreneurs. What's the worst legal thing you can do that you've heard of before? Let us know in the comments below, and you might get a chance to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos from the library. Thank you so much for watching.